the Paper Chef here. Welcome to part 2 of my Rainbow of Happiness workshop series here on YouTube. It is based on the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set, which we'll be using today for a couple of these sentiments, and the dies, which we will not use, but I have lots of examples to show you of other projects we will be using these dies in. These are called the Brilliant Rainbows dies. Now the reason I wasn't going to go live today again so soon after doing part 1, however, I just went into, excuse me, I'm coughing, but I'm not sick. It's just coughing because my throat's dry. So don't anybody worry about me as I grab a sip of water. All right, just drinking some water. Okay, so the reason I went on today, okay, I'm explaining, is because I went into the inventory status report. That's something that customers can see now, but mostly demonstrators look at it. Customers usually don't look at it, but you can look at it. And it said that this bundle was on low inventory. And I said, well, let me just tell my crafty friends who are interested in this whole workshop to get this while you can. Now, I believe the stamp set is not on low inventory. It's just the dies, but that makes the bundle on low inventory. And when you get the bundle together, you save 10%. When you get my workshop kit, if you get my workshop kit, which is linked in the description of this video, you don't get the bundle with that. You get the bundle on your own. My kit is full of crafty supplies and surprises to do my projects. And if you're a team member of mine, one of the Paper Chefs, you get a discount on the kit. If you are a Patreon member, one of the YouTube channel supporters, you also get a discount on the kit. And it's a great value and it includes shipping. So check that out if you're a US customer. Otherwise, no matter where you're at in the world, you can follow along with whichever supplies you have. All right, let's get started by making the treat toppers, okay? We're going to make the treat toppers for these Skittles. Let's do this. We're going to make 5 inches, so let's just go ahead and do, look at the pattern, okay? So you want the pattern to be, up and down rainbows. So you want, it's going to be a 5-inch strip, so you want to turn it first and make it 5 inches. So you want to make the 5 inches be the pattern going this way. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And then while you're here, go ahead and cut all of your little toppers so you have them all at once. But I'll give you a little trick. Okay, so this is, let me start writing down some notes for you. But let me just say topper is, so, oh wow, what happened to my Sharpie? What happened to my nice Sharpie? I left the lid off or something. It's starting to dry. Okay, topper equals 5 inches. Okay, now before I give you the other measurement yet, I need to give you a little tip and trick here. So when you're making your toppers, it doesn't matter what kind of topper you make. You always want your topper to be bigger than your bag. Well, my bags are 1-inch bags. So you always have to have a topper that's bigger than your bags. My bags, I'll link them later in the description of the video. So let's turn this. This is 5 inches. This is 5 inches this way. And let's go ahead and score it at 2.5 so that it's already scored. Okay, so now we can cut the width we need, but we've already scored it. That's my little tip. So I just do a bunch of stuff at once. It's how I get a lot more done. And now we're going to go ahead and cut it 1.5 inches. So another tip and trick is the paper, the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper is already 6 inches. I mean, not already 6 inches. It is 6 inches. So just go ahead and cut it in 3 inches. That's half the paper, half the width, and then cut it in 1.5. So this is just the way you get a lot more done. Okay, now I have all 4 toppers made at once. Okay, quickly. Now I'm going to flip them over, and I'm going to use the corner of, you're going to use the corner of your Simply Scored or the corner of this little guy, your trimmer, which I think is already on low inventory, if not. So, you would like, bottom line, you like something in this day and age with the way supply chain issues are, you just got to get it when you like it, if you have the resources. Because this is a good tool. It's a good tool to have, the trimmer. So now I'm just taking a little spatula and I'm just making all my treat toppers. I'm just flattening them out with the little spatula. Now you're like, oh gosh, that was easy. Yes, it was easy. That's why I decided, because it is so easy. I'm like, you know what? I need to do 2 things in this video. Not just the treat toppers, because they're going to be like, it's so easy. That's all? The mystery solved? Okay, so that's it. Score at Score at 2.5. Okay, so and then we're going to go ahead and add them, and we'll do our sentiment. So anyway, so we have our Skittles. Now I've loaded the rainbow Skittles in these 1-inch bags, which I'll link to. If you're in my groups, you already got links to these. They're somewhere replied in my videos if you're in my groups. So anyway, let's go ahead and just put some adhesive on here. You're going to use, I don't use glue for cellophane. I use the rolling adhesive, the seal adhesive. And I'm just looking for that. I'm grabbing that. Okay, here it is. So now you're just going to put it, oops, I didn't mean to put it that far on the outside. Here, let's do another, put it a little bit closer to the outside. A little bit, not that close to the outside. Here we go. Something like that. Okay, so you're putting it close to the outside because you want the paper to be, you don't want the paper to be flopping around, but then you also want to put a little bit there to help catch the bag. Okay, so I'm just putting a little bit there. So now I'm going to take the bag, my Skittles. It really doesn't matter what's the front and the back, but I tend to put the back as the part. Let's put that. I'm going to make this the back, only because it's the back of the bag. It doesn't really matter because they're going to rip it open and eat it. So I'm going to make it so this top Skittles almost right there, then push it down a little because you want these to be able to stand up. These are great for craft fairs, by the way. One of my best sellers because people love things they can see through. And then you can also stand them up in containers. I'm going to show you some other styles of these. I have some Valentine's ones I'm going to show you in a little while. And I just recently did a video on Brother ScanNCut tips and tricks and how to cut out pattern paper. And we made some Valentine's ones of these. Or actually, I showed some Valentine's ones with my sentiments. All right, instead of making too many of these, because right now I'm in the middle of doing kits. And these actually come in my kits. And I don't want to run out. Then I got to get another big sharing size bag of Skittles, and I don't want to do that. Not that I don't want to do that, but my deadline for registering for my kit is January 24th, or 31st, I'm sorry, 31st. So now let's do this. Let's take the little pieces of paper I have, and we're going to make one of them into what we're going to stamp our sentiment onto. So this is a little piece of Rainbow of Happiness paper, and I'm just going to cut a little strip, maybe, I don't know, I believe it was 1/2 inch. So let's just go with 1/2 inch. See how that works out. You're going to quickly find out if you're new to my channel that I don't measure things that often. I just kind of go with it. Well, this is a little bit bigger, so that's fine. I'm going to do the 1/2 inch one. This one, my example is a little bigger, so we'll go with 1/2 inch. Before I trim it down, it's always good to do your stamping, because then you can trim it exactly the way you want it. I'm going to open up the Bermuda Bay ink, and I'm going to get a stamp called You Make Me Happy, which I end up putting on a lot of things. You Make Me Happy. It's just a great stamp to have. I'm going to put it flat side up, and I'm going to get a stamping block. Let's see if it'll go on that one. That's probably too short of a stamping block. Grab a long stamping block. Okay, we're going to put it on a long one. I'm going to put it on there, and I'm going to attach it so the flat side is up. This is how simple it is to stamp. Stamp onto your paper first a couple times. Stamp again. Okay, make sure you get a good image before you stamp onto your designer series paper. Let's even put, you know what? Let's even put a piece of silicone down. All right. Because silicone helps make, if your table's not flat, helps you. Okay, you don't really have to wiggle it too much, but that works fine. Now we're going to take our little piece of paper now, and we're going to then trim it, because then we can kind of center it, right? So we'll tell you what size it was after I figure out what size it was. 3 inches. We're going to say 3 inches. Okay, and you can make it a little shorter if you want. So let's just say 3, because we need to tell you something, because you're always asking me for measurements. So 3 inches, topper is 3 inches times 1/2. Is the, or not topper, that would be the sentiment. All right, now we need a little cloud cover. So we're going to take the other side of this paper. We're going to take this paper, and we're going to use the cloud punch and punch us a cloud, right? So that's always fun. Let me find my cloud punch. This paper is free, by the way. It's one of the celebration items. I have to get in there. See if I can get up in there. I'm going to trim off a little piece so I can get up in there better to get these clouds. I'm just going to trim another 1/2 inch piece because I can make more sentiments out of it later. Right, so I save a little piece of that. I'm just getting up in there and kind of like this cloud, but I'm going to use this cloud because I'm covering it anyway, kind of. So this cloud punch is in our mini catalog, and it coordinates with this free paper, which is a celebration item. The paper is a pack of 48 sheets. So watch part 1, where I went through every design of the paper. Part 1 of this series. You're going to see it and see all the sheets of paper. Like here, today we're just using a few of the fun sheets, but you'll get to see them all. Okay, so put that at a little bit of an angle, the cloud, like with a little bit of adhesive there. Oh no, I like some rainbows showing. Let a couple rainbows stick out the top like that. Make it more fun, and then take this little guy and put him on the cloud with some dimensionals, some little foam dimensionals. Because it's half, yeah, it is amazing, right? MJD is saying she loves the paper, it's amazing. Or he, I don't know your full name there, but yes, it is amazing paper. Voila, we have our treat toppers. It is that easy. So let me stop to show you some Valentine treat toppers before we do our diaper fold. Let me close this. We're done with the Bermuda Bay. So like I mentioned in a recent video I did how to cut out pattern paper using the ScanNCut. And in that video, I just got some Bermuda Bay on the bottom of my treat toppers. In that video, I shared what to do with your crafty goodness. And it was a ScanNCut video, so I showed you how to cut out all these like little candies out of the paper. So here are some M&Ms, conversation hearts, peanut M&Ms, more conversation hearts, more peanut M&Ms and regular M&Ms. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you have Valentine treats. It doesn't matter if you have Skittles. You can put Tic Tacs in these bags. Mentos. Okay, Mentos. There's 4 things already to put in these bags. So I put all kinds of things in these bags. I mean, I have all kind. I do snowman poop and I put Mentos in there. Or I do red, white, and blue M&Ms for July 4th. I make these year round. I make these as stocking stuffers. I make them for craft fairs. I make them for Easter, Christmas, Halloween, you name it. Okay, so treat toppers are fun to make. And it doesn't matter what size bag you have. You don't have to have my 1-inch bags. I'll show you the link for. You can have any size bag, right? Any size bag. You're just going to make your bag bigger than you're going to make your topper bigger than your bag. All right, let's do the diaper fold now. So to choose a pattern for the diaper fold, I was trying to choose a pattern that I wasn't necessarily already using in one of the cards, but also one that would be cute to show you the whole little designs for. And you also got some Tazo Zen tea in your bag. So you also got Skittles in your kit. So you get to make this already. So I already gave you the tea. So anyway, just something. You can put a Ghirardelli chocolate in here, which I'll show you in a little bit. But let's just use the corner of this. Again, I'm just using the corner as an edge to help me when I'm doing my fold. So to make a diaper fold, I thought it was perfect for this. There are no directions for this, so there's nothing to write down, except for you're just going to follow me. Okay, there's no directions like except for to take a 6-inch piece of paper. So we will do the stamping too. So I just thought this paper was good because it has a pattern that I wasn't using. I had saved a lot of these because I was going to put the otters on them for swimming. I do have some otters swimming on this paper. When I say my otters, you know, also the other celebration item, right? I was using this Otterly Awesome a lot, and I thought it would go good on this paper, so I saved a lot of this paper and didn't put it in my celebration sampler when I did my paper share. I saved so much of it, and I'm like, oh, well, now I have a lot of this paper, and I haven't used it yet for many projects, so that's why I'm deciding to use it for this diaper fold, but also because it's a good pattern. So you're just going to take it, you're going to take any square, it doesn't matter, but this is a 6 by 6-inch square of paper, and I'm just going to fold it into a triangle shape. Okay, so what I'm doing now is this other project. I'm doing this project, which you can then put a candy in, or you can put a tea bag in, or both, right? You can put both in there. So let's take the little spatula I just had, and you're gonna, I just like to use the corner of my trimmer because it has that little ledge. You take the spatula and flatten it out. Okay, so this is where we're at, and I want to just make sure you do this along with me. So get yourself a square piece of paper. I don't care if you have a 12-inch piece of paper right now or a 6-inch, 5-inch. Just get yourself a square and please follow along with me, because the only way to learn this is to follow along with me. Or you can watch the video later. Diaper fold is only 15 minutes into the video. Let me say hi to Cynthia, Betty, Diana, Sheila. Watch how I fold as I say hi to you guys. See how I'm doing this? I'm folding this way to the left and this way to the right. Like a little diaper, like you're putting a diaper on a little baby, right? So, I don't know if anybody still uses cloth diapers, but that's all my mom used on us. I think that's all. Well, we didn't, I mean, not only could we not afford those disposable diapers, I don't think they were even really around much when I was a baby. You just got to rewash the cloth diapers. All right, so did I say hi to Diana? I did, and Sheila, and Tina, and Lara, Cynthia, Gloria. Oh gosh, thank you all. Diane, or Lee, Laurie, MJ, and then we have a spammer, and Cynthia. Hello, Yvonne, Beverly. Okay, you see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of folding it over this way and over this way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this down, but before I crease it, or before I kind of make it stay like that, I wiggle it all into place. So this is the only trick of making a diaper fold, is that this little piece, you want this little piece, this little point to go straight across, right? Straight across, straight across, straight across. Well, it doesn't really go straight across until you sort of wiggle it all, getting that line to go under this flap. And you need both hands, and you sort of just wiggle it until you get it to be sort of perfect like this. See? And then you pinch the sides. And when you pinch the sides, then you have it the way you want it, and then you can just sort of crease it. Okay? Crease it, and that's all. So now what I'm going to do is go back, and before we make the center, I'm going to go back and just sort of seal it. So it would be fine the way it is. You could just give it to someone like that. My friend's daughter came over, and she was I taught her how to make these with 12 by 12 inch sheets, and she went out and got a mango fruit and stuck the mango in there. She made herself a little fruit pouch. If you want to teach little kids how to make hats, the old-timey hats, you can make this side flap down the back side, and go like that, and you make a little hat. Okay, and you can make these any size. But I'm going to show you just kind of how to seal it like that. So you're going to seal this so it doesn't flop open. But you can put other stuff in them. I'm just going to open it back up. Once you get it the exact way you want it, just put a little bit of adhesive right there. A little bit of adhesive and a little bit of adhesive. And like I said, I was just making that flap cover up that. So now I'm going to use, to make the sentiment, thank you, Cynthia, for reporting the person who is spamming, because that usually makes the spam go away because it's all computerized. And Pamela, too, for reporting the spammer. It's so annoying when they do that. Oh, you guys are talking about the crazy weather. Yes, Diana, these make quick little gifts. They are. Oh, I know. You got to use heated blankets, right? I understand, Pamela. Heated blankets where you're at. It's crazy, right? So I'm going to now use this cool little piece. I just thought this made a good contrast. This is called Misty Moonlight. This is the piece that looks like this. And I just thought it made a nice little oval for the outside. So I'm going to use the double oval punch because that's how I roll. I just use whatever I have, and I'm going to use the double oval punch. When you punch our designer series papers, sometimes you can see the white coming through. Sometimes on the side. And so there's a way around it. I mean, not a way around it, but what I sometimes do, because someone was asking about this recently. I just dip it in the ink. I don't really worry about it. but if you see little white parts coming through after you punch something, which I don't really see right now, but I'm just going to give you that little tip. Just go like this. Just dip your paper in the ink. Any ink. I'm just using coordinating ink. This happens to be, I would probably use Misty Moonlight ink if I had it sitting here, but I don't have it sitting here. So I'm using Bermuda Bay ink. Not only does that give you a little bit of like a cool little dimension around the outside, well, it actually looks better on the other side. Let me show you. See, you can kind of see the dimension, but it looks better, and it also has no white paper will show through on your punch. Another little tip. Okay, so now we need a cute little sentiment, and the one that fits on there perfectly is this little tiny sentiment that says, "You make this world a better place." Yep, that reminds me of a song, right? Okay. I'm just putting the flat side up. So now we're going to go ahead and get out my little thing. And we're going to use, this time we're going to use Flirty Flamingo because it's one of the coordinating colors. And we're going to do it on white cardstock. So Flirty Flamingo, open up your Flirty Flamingo. And we're going to stamp onto the mat a couple times. Okay, looks good. Got a good sentiment. Get your little scrap paper out. This is just basic white cardstock. Stamp it first. Oops, didn't stamp right. Turn it over. That's why it's called scrap paper, right? This one's such a tiny, delicate stamp, you might have to wiggle it a little bit. Okay, you make this world a better place. Came out fine on the other side. Now we're going to close it. Get out the double oval punch. And now we're going to use the smaller oval for "You make this world a better place." And punch that out. And get some dimensionals. And layer these two together. And then layer it on top of your Misty Moonlight. That's the good contrast. That's why I use that color. You just want to use colors that coordinate with whatever they tell you on the package. So on this package, you can always look at the coordinating colors by looking on the back of the package, and you have the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper, all the coordinating colors. So that's what you want to use for ink, and when you're cardstock, when you're making your cards and things, which I'll show you what I have right now. And I'm going to just put this on there. Beautiful. And we can put the little T in there, or the Ghirardelli chocolate square. Okay, and there you have it. So I'm going to show you some now of Valentine ones that are diaper folds. Okay, so these I just I'm putting in with some care packages and things I'm sending. So I kind of wrap them up a little bit. So this is, let me open one up. See, it's the easiest one to open. I'm just kind of reusing the bags from my dimensionals and things like that. So this is what you can put in there. See? Ghirardelli hearts are perfect for this. And you can also put that with the tea as well. So you can put a Ghirardelli heart or a Ghirardelli square, and you can put the tea bag and a Ghirardelli heart. So you have lots of room in there. So yeah, it is much easier than it looks, right? Okay, so now that I showed you those, I just have lots of different things to show you from this kit. So this is, this bundle. Let me pull these back down. All right, let me go like this. Let me clear off my table now. And just show you the rainbow projects. I was just trying to show you those as other ways of other things to make using the techniques I'm showing you. But now I'd like to show you other things with the rainbow kit, which I still happen to have some. I'm trying to mail these off, and I'm trying to make some things for my next bingo. But anyway, so some of these I'm not making in this workshop series. I thought some of these I'm going to be making in my bingo coming up. So I just want to show you because I'm focusing on celebration papers. And this is using this sweet little treat box and this cool little heart punch, which is available now in this heart punch bundle. Heart punch pack it's called. Okay, so this thank you is part of the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set. Okay, here's one using the chevron embossing folder. Some rainbows. I didn't put any bling on these on purpose because these are some simple cards I'm using, which we are trying to do during the middle of a live bingo event. So it's like there's not a lot of time to craft, so I didn't put a lot of bling and ribbons on these cards. But these are some ideas for what's coming up in an event. And that's not until March, but I still have to design it way ahead of time because the shipping ends up being so slow. I wanted to give a shout out to my friend Vivian who sent me this. And it's just so cute, and it goes with this. She does little jelly, like I don't know what they're called, gel crafting. She uses like silicone molds and gel crafting. And I thought, oh, how cute. And it goes with what I was talking about. So maybe I'm going to make a box just to hold that. And then in this series, we're going to be doing other projects like making this little box here. And the stuff to go in the box is in your kit. That if you get the Rainbow of Happiness kit, you'll get something that goes in this box. We're going to make, this is a little box, a candy treat box. Okay, they're using designer series paper. I'm going to show you how to make this one. This is a nail file treat box. We're going to make this with the Rainbow of Happiness and things from your kit. This is some really cool paper called the Mother of Pearl specialty paper. And this is one of the dies in the kit. I mean, one of the dies in your bundle. I should say kit is the thing that comes from me, but the bundle is something you get from Stampin' Up! Directly. Okay, that's what I mean by the kit. Sometimes you don't have to have the kit to watch my YouTube videos. I'm just talking about if you do get the kit, there's extra things in there that you can't get from. Okay, this is a little box. This is another way of decorating a little box. So like this is the same little box and different ways to decorate that same little box. And if you've watched recently on YouTube, I showed you how to decorate it Valentine's Day too, style. In part 1 of this series, we created this card. This is called the You Make Me Happy Cloud card. And we use the cloud punch and the dies to get the little rainbow to go in there. Some layering. Different, I think we did it with the Granny Apple Green cardstock, which is in your kit. But this one is soft sea foam. Here's some, these two cards can be made, or is it these two? Hold on, let me find it. It's these two. These two cards are going to be made together because it's using, one of them is using the negative of the other. So I will be teaching watercoloring techniques, and you can get a couple sets of watercolor pencils and some aqua painters and follow along with me as we color some watercolor paper. And we're going to be cutting out this rainbow in the series, this rainbow here, and then embossing the rainbow after we watercolor it and emboss it and cut it out. And then the background is going to be used for a card, the background that we emboss from the watercolor. And then the inside is going to be used for this card. So we're going to make these two cards at the same time because we're using the different parts of them. And this is blending brushes. I'm using blending brushes for the background of that. And we even use some little cotton things. And then this is also some watercoloring techniques using a different kind of paper. This is watercolor paper. And this is shimmery white cardstock, which is in your kit, some shimmery paper. Okay, this is what more watercoloring techniques we'll be doing in this series. This is also watercoloring. This little box was all watercolored, including the rainbow on the inside, using the aqua painters. And then these, I'm just working on some more designs. I'm working on some ways to display a lot of designer series paper on one card. I'm working on like a panel card where I've figured out how to make measurements where these three would sort of be the same size and layer, and then put that on a layer of cardstock and on another layer. And then I'm trying to think about what to put in front of it without blocking it. So I'm going to probably make a shorter panel for the inside. So I'm working on more projects. Here's some I did on the YouTube channel already that I'm sending off soon. These were part of my Ink It Up series. But I'm working on a new design with that. I don't try to reinvent the wheel each time. I just try to go one step further than something I've already done and then add to it for some future designs and projects. So this isn't all we're making in this series, but I know this series will be ending in February because after February, you can no longer get this amazing Rainbow of Happiness designer series paper anymore because it's part of it's a celebration special and you won't be able to get it. So I want to make sure that I end this series in the month of February. Okay, so lastly, just a little sneak peek. I already went over all the kit contents last time, but the kit comes with cardstock, designer series paper, specialty papers as well, specialty papers, a little Valentine's bonus is while supplies last. This isn't even something we're using in our workshop, just a Valentine's bonus for you. And then lots of crafty goodness and containers. There's 2 of these gold containers with lots of crafty goodness and surprises inside. 2 of these little boxes, which I'm not going to open. Okay, but because my kits always have lots of surprises. So if you're interested in those, you don't find out what all's in them until you get them. It's a faith kind of thing. All right, well, thank you all for watching. This is the Paper Chef, and have a great rest of the week. Bye.